So, Ben has a lot of electric aliens. Like, a little bit too much. But, which one of them are, well, the best? Like, between all of them, being very broad with best, who is the best possible electric alien that Ben could use? Here are the ground rules for this entire thing. We're going to obviously be looking into power, their actual abilities, and how they use them. Yeah, there's going to be a lot we're going to have to talk about, but we're going to do them specifically in how many times, the aliens have appeared. So we're going to go in that order. So let's start off with our first one. First one we're going to be going over is, of course, Buzzshock, and he is a low alien, so there's not going to be too many abilities to talk about, but, he's a little sprightly little guy. First of his abilities, of course, his bioelectricity, which a lot of the other aliens have for differing reasons, but, there we go. Next, we got energy or electricity absorption, as shown here. Apparently they have it, so, yeah, it's right there. Of course, they are also immune to electricity or have some type of conductivity, so that's pretty obvious. Next, he can apparently turn himself into electricity, which a lot of people on this list can also do, so yeah. Next, of course, is flight and levitation, which, not much to say here. They can also apparently regenerate, and this is mainly due to their duplication as well, so you can put that on there. They can possess technology, and once they possess it, they can also destroy it from the inside out, so yeah, there we go. And lastly, they have sonic screeches, or at least when there's a bunch of them together. We don't know if individually, they have sonic screeches, but when there's a good collection of them, they do. Now going on to Frankenstrike and his powers. Of course, he has bioelectricity, and of course his, electrical waves apparently that he can do, which also allow him to shoot out energy beams and also enhances punches and stuff with electricity. He also apparently can survive in the vacuum of space, and in that same episode, he can also use his electric powers to magnetize himself to metal surfaces as well. Next alien is Amphibian, with his powers, of course. Of course, again, he has bioelectricity, just like all the others, and he can also, shoot out the electricity or shoot out his waves, just like, Frankenstrike. Of course, he can also, absorb energy, just like a lot of them on this list, but he can also redirect that energy back out at his opponents as well. He can also, of course, walk through walls and all that through his intangibility, and through doing that, he can also destroy technology with this power as well, because, he's an electric alien. Of course, he can, fly, and due to this, or his way of flight at least, he can also, of course, levitate with this ability. He also has elastic limbs, as, you can see in this picture. And lastly, of course, he can breathe underwater. Next one we're going over is, of course, Shocksquatch, with his abilities. And yet again, he has, bioelectricity, just like everyone else. But of course, he can apparently shoot it out of his mouth, which is interesting. He also technically has telekinesis through his electrokinesis. And of course, he can make force fields with his electricity. And that's pretty much it. He doesn't have anything else in terms of his electrical abilities or anything else. That's weird. Next is feedback, and we got a good bit to talk about. Of course, feedback has electrical kinesis, just like all of the others. He can make balls out of it, make big shock waves. He can ride on power lines. He has a bunch or a variety of abilities when it comes to just electrical kinesis in general. He can also make explosions, apparently, as well. And I'll probably put another one up here in case I forget it, because, yeah. He also, of course, can fly with his electricity, and going on to, his main ability, he can absorb all kinds of energy, and he can even do this remotely, apparently, which is actually pretty cool. He does have a little bit of elasticity in terms of an ability, specifically with his antenna, not with the rest of his body. But speaking of his antenna, he also has radio location with those antenna as well, which is a very unique ability, or specifically for Ben 10. Nice. Next alien we got now is, of course, Brainstorm, and he has a good bit of abilities. Of course, we can't talk about Brainstorm without talking about his intelligence. I mean, he is probably one of the smartest aliens in the show, besides, well, gray matter, of course. And of course, he wouldn't be here if he didn't have bioelectricity, which he can do a lot with. He can send out like a pulse, apparently, which is interesting. He can create tiny little storms, which is an interesting ability as well, and he can also create force fields. Yeah, he's got a wide variety of abilities with bioelectricity as well. He also has telekinesis, which technically is also through his, electrokinesis as well, so I guess that would be in that category. He also apparently can levitate, which is weird for an alien like him to have. And of course he has his normal, crab-like stuff. He has pincers that can go on to stuff, and apparently he can scale walls and webs, which is nice. And last, but certainly not least, we got a reboot alien, Shockrock, in his ability. So, yeah, let's go over them, I guess. And of course, he wouldn't be here if he didn't have electrokinesis, which, as you can see from this picture, he immediately can use it to shoot out electrical beams, which is a nice little touch. He also can use a lot more than just beams. He can shoot out tiny little, or not really tiny, waves of electrical energy at people. He can make two different types of barriers, like a normal barrier around someone, or just like a shield barrier as well. Speaking of barriers, he can make a normal force field, so he can generate force fields with them as well, out of just energy. And of course he can create balls of energy as well. Oh, I almost forgot, he can also trap people in force fields as well. And going out of, force fields now, finally, he can absorb energy of varied kinds, including, of course, electricity. He can also morph his body. Specifically, he's been shown with extending his arms and also making his hands or arms bigger as well. And his last ability is that he can make energy constructs, including, as you can see on screen, a sword, apparently a bicycle, which is weird, but he has enhanced speed, I guess, through that, a boomerang as well, and possibly another one that I might have missed, so yeah. Oh, and lastly, he does have electrical telekinesis. I don't know how I missed that, so yeah. Now, since I have gone over all of their abilities, who is technically the best overall alien between all of these, well, electric aliens? So, yeah, let's just go in order. In dead last is going to be Frankenstrike. I'm sorry, most of the others on this list basically have everything he has, but better and more variety of abilities than just, magnetism and all that. So he's pretty lackluster, if I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, sorry if you like him. He's not a bad alien, by the way, so just wanted to bring that out. This does not mean he's a bad alien, just he has less versatility than the others. That's it. Next is going to be Shocksquatch. He's pretty much pretty much just the same as Frankenstrike, but arguably physically stronger, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, he doesn't have as many variety of abilities with his electric abilities. Most of his is just physical feats and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. If he's one of my favorite electric aliens, though, I can say. Next is surprisingly Feedback, which is odd, but like in comparison to the others, he doesn't have, or at least in my eyes, a more variety set of he doesn't have a wide range of abilities. Most of his feats and him doing things is just him absorbing stuff. He does have like radio location and stuff, but most of his stuff is just his electric abilities, and even then it's not really something that a lot of the others can't do. So yeah. Next is Buzzshock, mainly because he can do like a sonic scream, he can duplicate and all this other stuff, along with his electrical kinesis. He can turn himself into electricity, all of this stuff. He has a wide variety of abilities, more than obviously Feedback, but the others have more potential, I guess, than this guy does, because he's kind of just annoying and is very fast. But the others either have abilities that he does or have better abilities, and yeah. Next, of course, we also have Brainstorm. He is incredibly intelligent, but just being intelligent isn't going to put him any higher than, what he's currently at right now. A lot of the abilities he has is cool and all, and he could probably be very creative, but he hasn't shown it. He's just done general intelligent stuff, but never with his abilities other than like force field generation, the basic, electric stuff. He can also float, though, or levitate, I guess, so there is that. And of course, there is Amphibian. A lot of his abilities, I think, pretty much come from, Rad, possessing Ben or whatever. Not all of them, obviously, but he has his ghost abilities that can just go through and just take care of technology. He has a lot of the stuff that the others do, but also, he has the added thing of just being able to mess with technology, and I think he deserves to be higher up because of that, along with him having stretchy limbs, allowing him to get access to stuff that the others probably wouldn't be able to. He turned himself into electricity and other stuff you've seen. And in first place, I didn't personally think he would be literally the best one, Shockrock. I didn't expect him to be this high, but because he can make constructs, he can morph his body, he can absorb energy, he just has a lot to his kit when it comes to his electric abilities, that I feel like he's probably the best electric alien here. Pretty close to Amphibian, though, I'm gonna be honest, because there's some things that Amphibian has that Shockrock doesn't, as well as a lot of other of these aliens, but I think he is probably the most versatile, especially when it comes to his electric abilities. But this is all just my opinion, just to remind you guys. So yeah, that's who I think is at least the most versatile or best out of all of these electrical aliens. All of them have their different purposes and reasons for just being about, and all of them are cool in their own way. So yeah, no. So this is less of a which one is technically better, I guess you can say, and it's more that which is more versatile of an electric alien. But this entire video is more of my opinion on who is the best out of the electrical aliens anyways. So if you guys down in the comments disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. It gives me engagement, I like interacting with you guys in the comments. If you guys like this video, go ahead and we'll give it a like, subscribe so you can see more videos like this. All of my socials are also down in the description as well. as well as our Discord, which you'll get like notifications for, videos, including like shorts, videos like these, and other things that I might pop up. So yeah, hope you guys like the video, and I hope you guys, well, stay for the future videos. So yeah.